Hello.
Hello, participants. Can you hear me very, very well? Give me a quick yes on the chat box if you can hear me very well. Give me a quick yes in chat box if you can hear me very well. All right, fantastic. So good to see you all. Good to see all of you from different parts of the country over here, coming over here today and attending this session. So first of all, I am Hitesh Mutwani. I welcome all of you on behalf of North Storm Academy. And how are you guys doing? I hope all of you are doing pretty well. Give me a quick yes on the chat box in case you can hear me very well and doing pretty well over here. So today's day is going to be extremely exciting. We got a very own talented Amrut Jadhav, who's one of the best, coaches for increasing your mind. And we're going to see how can you do this better. So today, I would like to just tell you, all of you, that hold on till the end. You're going to see something extremely mind-blowing. And also, on behalf of Nordstrom Academy, which is a premium digital marketing institute in Mumbai, and we do training across India, I welcome all of you to this program today. Now, I'd like to invite Dr. Captain Ashutosh Apandekar sir to come over here and address all of you, and also to invite Amrut from Brain Infinite to take the session today. And I look forward to seeing you towards the end, and I wish you all the very best for today's session. So, Captain, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Hitesh. Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen, all the Maritime Training Institutes, principals, faculties, primary and secondary school teachers, and my dear cadets and students who are watching this. For the ones who have joined today for this session, to introduce myself, I am Captain Dr. Ashutosh Apankar, Principal of Training Ship Rahman, India's oldest maritime training institute, delivering quality maritime education from last 110 years. This program is brainchild of Training Ship Rahman, North Storm Academy, and Brain Infinite Academy. And what a wonderful session we had yesterday. Zoom was full with 500 participants. We had 1,200 participants on YouTube. And as of now, when I checked last, it was 6,300 views on the YouTube. So good to go. Hitesh, it was a very informative session. I got lots of comment yesterday. Yesterday, I shared a message of Dr. Kalam, and it says there are only two colors in teacher's life. One is white, that is the chalk. Other is black, that is the blackboard. But with these two colors, the teacher makes their student's life colorful. This was with Dr. Kalam. We have yet another wonderful teacher who will color you for lifetime with his memory techniques. So let me introduce the master trainer, Amrut Jadhav. Now, the background of Amrut Jadhav. Mr. Amrut Jadhav is India's leading memory athlete. You heard it right, memory athlete. You might be wondering, we have seen so many athletes. What is memory athlete? So when Amrut Jadhav comes on board, he will tell you what it is. He is a creative learning and memory coach who has trained more than 25,000 students in India, Singapore, and Indonesia. He proudly represented India at the 25th World Memory Championship held in Singapore in December 2016. He is the founder of Brain Infinite, with which we have had a collaboration for this program, and which is one of the finest training institute in creative learning and memory enhancement. His students have won several awards at various Indian and international memory championships, including Turkey, Singapore, and China. He was honored as Level 1 arbiter by World Memory Sports Council, headquartered in London, at the 5th Indian Memory Championship 2013. You can find all this information about Amrut on Google. He was an arbiter at the Indian Open Memory Championship in 2017, approved by International Association of Memory. Mr. Jadhav is a certified memory trainer from TAP International with a gold medal. He is a musical window gold medalist achiever and was also honored as the master trainer of musical windows, which is one of the most powerful memorization system across the world. He is a certified mind mapping practitioner from Tony Buzan's institute called Think Buzan, which facilitates him to generate powerful ideas. He is an NSNLP peak performance coach certified by International Society of Neurosemantics. And I can just go on telling what Amrut Jadhav is. But last, what all he has achieved. 2015, he represented India in the National Memory Championship held in Hyderabad, stood fifth. In 2016, he stood third at the 8th National Memory Championship. 2018, he was in third rank in Indian Memory Championship random words, and in 2018 he was second in 10th Indian Memory Championship names and faces held at 23rd September 2018. So that's a very brief biodata, otherwise this program can just go on with his biodata only. So I invite Mr. Amrut Jadhav, the master trainer, to take over from here and enlighten us with some amazing techniques. And I'll be dropping Amrut in between to tell you how we were also doing some techniques before this course with our boys. So let me see whether they matches or not. And definitely for the maritime students, where they have to undergo a lot of memory, they have to depend on their memory to remember dates, rules. We have certain viewers I have shared with Amrut ROR rules so that I wanted to see how well he can memorize. And there are certain dates of Marpol annexes to know whether he can remember that or not. Of course, he can, but he'll show you those amazing techniques. So I'll not come between him and you now and hand over to you, Amrut. All over to you.
Thank you so much, Captain Ashok sir. Thanks a lot for inviting me here today. Thank you, the entire institute, TS Rahman, the entire Maritime Institute out here. Thanks a lot, Ashok sir, and thank you, Hitesh Motwani and the entire North Storm Academy. I think let us all give a big round of applause to the wonderful institute who has made this happen today. Thank you, Ashok sir, and let us begin, all of us, with your permission, Ashok sir. We can begin this session.
Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't see, I'm not able to see your videos, but I can definitely gauge your emotions on the other side of the screen. And let me definitely try that. I think give me a thumbs up if you have a refrigerator in your house. Come on, give me a thumbs up agar aapke ghar mein fridge hai. Come on, give me a hand raise if you have a washing machine in your house. Come on, give me a hand raise if you have a mobile phone in your house. Fantastic. Fantastic. Now, whenever you bought this complex gadget, aapne jab bhi in complex gadgets ko buy kiya, they all came, Ashutosh sir, with a user manual, with an manual. Any idea why this complex gadget comes with an instruction manual? The reason number one, of course, they are complex. And the reason number two, they are full of features. Now, to everybody sitting out here, do you have any slightest idea which is the most complex structure on the planet Earth? If you know, can you type in the chat box what you think is the most complex structure on the planet Earth? And you have that within yourself. I think most of you by now must have answered that question. And that complex gadget within us is nothing but our brain. Isn't that true, Captain Saab?
Absolutely.
Yeah, is dunya ka sabse complex structure is perhaps the human brain. And unfortunately, when our mother delivered us, the God invited us on the planet Earth, they did not share the user manual of our brain, unfortunately, right? But today's session is exactly going to act like a user manual for your brain. It is going to act like an instruction manual for your brain. So how many of you are excited to hear me out, how the brain works and how we can use certain absolutely fantastic techniques? Type excited in the chat box if you're super excited to learn this session. All of you. Fantastic. Thank you. So let us begin. My dear friends, today's session, iske pehle ki main shuru karu, I'm sure a lot of student community is listening to me. Am I right, Captain Saab?
Yes,
and parents perhaps are listening to me. Of teachers, I believe, are here from different parts of the country. Right? Great. And I want to share the reason behind why I am conducting today's session. I always believe, Ashutosh sir, there is a purpose behind anything that we do in life. And there are two major purposes out here. And the reason number one that I'm conducting today's session is, ek insan hone ke naate, as you are an individual, you have different kind of diseases available inside us. Isn't that true? Yes. Or in diseases ke list mein, I'm going to add one more disease to the list of diseases that we have. And that disease is the disease of forgetting. Bhulne ki bimari. Now, come on, raise your hand, guys, if you have this भूलने की बीमारी. Come on, come on, come on. Raise your hand अगर आप history का answer भूल के आए थे. Raise your hand अगर आप geography में भूल के आए थे. Come on, raise your hand if you forgot during the maths formula, you forgot. Raise your hand if you went blank during the examination. You know, mama, मैं भूल गया. Mother, I forgot. I went completely blank. Come on, raise your hand if you have gone through this disease. Right? All of us, right? All of us. You see my hand is up, right? Even I do. So my dear friends, हमारे बच्चे, if the parents community are listening to me right now, Ashutosh sir, ये बच्चे कितने आसानी से आकर they come to us and they tell us that, you know, I forgot the 5 marks answer. But when a child says, I forgot the 5 marks answer, do you know what kind of consequences a parent we have to face? Yes, I forgot is perhaps one of the most too expensive words on planet Earth. मैं भूल गया, I forgot. Right? If you want to get into your favorite institute and you did not score well just because you forgot, then perhaps you have to spend those thousands and lakhs of rupees as a donation in order to get into that college of your, yes, those favorite college. So my dear friends, as I always say, I forgot are two most expensive words on planet Earth. That is the first reason why we are going to conduct this session today. The second reason why we conduct this session today is because schools always expect you to remember something. Parents always expect you to remember something. Isn't that true? है ना, मम्मी हमेशा कहती है, और खास करके जब एग्जाम नजदीक आती है, हमारे मम्मी के अंदर काली माता आ जाती है शायद से. Isn't that true? Yes, yes, yes. Now, the mothers, the parents, they always expect you to remember what has been taught to you. जो भी आपको सिखाया गया है, they expect you to remember that information. But unfortunately, perhaps, you know, Ashutosh sir, the teachers, the parents, perhaps they are not able to answer that question. If the child asks the parent, Mummy, I am ready to memorize everything that you say, but mother, please tell me how to memorize. तो शायद कैप्टन साहब, इस सवाल का जवाब काफी टीचर्स के पास नहीं होगा, and the questions answer will not be with parents community perhaps. Isn't that true? Yes. And these are the major reasons why I'm here today, and I'm going to answer these questions for all of you. Very recently, one of my book got published, and that is my first book, Ashutosh sir. I'm very happy and excited that I shared with you as well. You can have a jumbo memory, and a lot of secrets which I have shared in that book. I'm going to share those secrets with all of you, how to improve your memory. Show me a thumbs up if you're super excited to begin this. Now, thank you. So my dear friends, let us try to erase one misconception before I share the secrets with all of you. स्मरण शक्ति को लेकर, मेमोरी को लेकर, there are various kinds of misconceptions as far as memory is concerned. Okay. Now I want to erase that misconception from all of your mind. And ये misconception, Captain Saab, wherever I am, Hitesh, wherever I am conducting the session, whether it is in India, whether I am conducting in Singapore or Indonesia, whichever part of the world I am, I have seen this misconception in everybody's mind. Now, what is that misconception? Now, imagine there is a classroom of 100 students, okay? Now, in 100 students, you will realize that some of the students, they get scores which are above 80%. Some students get score like, you know, between 60 to 80, some get above 60, some get below 60% marks, which means in the same classroom, kisi ek bande ko, that girl gets 95%, and perhaps in the same classroom, the other boy gets 35% marks. Now, please try to analyze and understand why there is such a huge difference in the marks. Ina madam, Rajput madam, in the same classroom, there is somebody is getting 95, and Arya in the same classroom, somebody is getting 35% marks. Now, raise your hand if you really believe the difference is because of the memory. Type memory in the chat box if you believe that memory ke wajah se 95% wala, this boy has and this girl has a fantastic memory, but the boy who's scoring 35%, this boy has weak memory, and memory is a problem. Raise your hand if you believe this 35% wala boy has weak memory. Fantastic. Now, many of you really believe that 35% wala has a weak memory. Now, let me tell you, Captain Ashutosh sir, in fact, this is the misconception which I want to clear today. The misconception is, yes, गलतफहमी यही है कि 95 और 35 की memory अलग है, 35 की memory low है. The fact is, this boy, 35% wala boy, also has excellent amount of memory capacity and mind power. Yes, the research says, science says that 35% wala also has equal amount of memory capacity and mind power. He can memorize as good as the 95% wala boy. Now, some of you must be thinking, how is it possible, sir? How is it that the boy who's getting 35% marks is not able to crack exams? He's scoring 35 in history, geography, math, science, and every subject. And how come you're saying that he has an equal amount of memory capacity as good as a boy who's getting 95% marks? Now, how many of you want me to prove this? Raise your hand if you really want me to prove this. Come on, isko prove kiya jaye. How many of you really feel that, हाँ sir, isko prove karna chahiye? Let us prove this. Now, let us all try to prove this with the help of an example. Okay? और अभी साफ-साफ सामने आ जाएगा. This boy has an excellent memory. Now, let us do a small experiment on this wonderful boy. Okay? Now, this boy scoring 35% marks, like in all the examination, let us do a one small experiment to test whether this boy really has weak memory. No, this boy has excellent memory. Let us prove this. Now let's take this little boy to a theater, cinema gruha mein, right? In theater mein hum le jayenge, and let us show this boy a latest film. Kaun si dikhayenge? I think Singham, favorite one. So let us show this boy a very amazing film called as Singham. Or Singham dikhane ke baad, I give him a popcorn, give him a Pepsi, I make him sit in the cinema theater. He watches the movie for 3 hours, then I get this boy again back into the webinar, and I tell this boy, Captain Saab, I tell this boy that we have not seen, हमने Singham देखा नहीं है, we haven't seen the movie Singham yet, but can you please share the story of Singham? What do you think? How much percent will this boy will now be able to recall? Come on, type in the chat box. Kitna percent yaad karega Singham? Come on, type in the chat box. Oh my God. Some people are saying 100, 100, 97, 95, 85, and absolutely true. Now, guys, how come you, just now you said this boy has weak memory, but this boy who had a weak memory memorized Singham 100%. Now, Hitesh ji, it is not that Singham aaj pucha hai isliye bata raha, it is not absolutely true. If you ask him about Singham after 6 months, he will be able to answer the questions about Singham. You ask him about Singham after 5 years, perhaps he'll be able to answer after 5 years as well. Now, Ashutosh sir, I want to ask you one question. Have you seen Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge? Yes?
Yes.
Our favorite, perhaps, isn't that? Now, how many years ago did you watch this?
Can't remember, but probably around 15, 20 years back.
Some 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Now, आज भी दिलवाले दुल्हनिया ले जाएंगे जब हमारे टीवी पर लगती है, when we see it on the television, do you remember everybody the scene जहां पर अमरीश पुरी साहब कबूतरों को दाना डाल रहे होते हैं, right? Do you remember that scene? And Shah Rukh Khan walks from the behind, and before Shah Rukh says, हम लोग घर में बैठे कहते हैं आओ आओ आओ. Now, do you really feel कि हमने DDLJ को रट्टा मारा है, रोट मेमोरी से बार बार देखकर याद किया है? Absolutely no. My dear friend, the fact is we remembered this information. और बहुत सारे खूबसूरत जवाब चैट में मुझे मिले हैं. Somebody said interest, and that is absolutely true, because this fellow had tremendous interest in who? In Ajay Devgan, in Singham, in Rohit Shetty. So interest is perhaps the number one reason. If you want to memorize anything for long term, the interest should be really very high. Now let us try to understand what was the most important reason how this little child could actually memorize Singham, so well that he scored 100 on 100, and he is able to memorize for 6 months and 5 years. Let us try to understand. Now, here onwards, the session is going to go a little bit technical. So I want all of you to focus what I'm saying. Okay. Now try to understand, why do we forget the questions and answers? Okay. The formulas, the mathematical formulas, the questions, that answers. हम लोग क्यों भूलते हैं? अभी ध्यान देके सुनिएगा. We forgot those answers because our teacher taught those answers. She delivered that session and we heard those answers. Isn't that true? We listened to the chapters, जो पढ़ाया गया, हमने पढ़ा, and we heard Varun sir, we heard. So information कहाँ से गई? Chapter की, history की, geography की, science की, maths की. It went to the brain through your ears. Research says, देखा हुआ ज़्यादा याद रहता है और सुना हुआ comparatively कम याद रहता. Are you with me? Now you could actually memorize Singham because you saw Singham. You saw Singham. आपने Singham को देखा. And my dear friend, the biggest truth about memory, the biggest secret about memory is actually visualization. You need to visualize the information in order to remember that information for a longer duration. How many of you agree with me? Raise your hand if you got the secret. The first secret, we need to actually visualize the information. देखना पड़ेगा, visualize करना पड़ेगा. Let me put it this way. Now, let me put it this way. Imagine, now यहाँ पर एक student है. Can I unmute his line, Captain Sir? Ved, I can see Ved here, Krishna here. Is it possible for, by any chance, I can talk to these kids?
They are muted, not possible.
They are muted. Okay. Okay. Now let me put it this way. For example, if I convert Singham into a chapter of 30 pages, Captain Saab, 30 pages, and I insert conveniently in the history book, do you still think that all these kids will be able to remember Singham now 100%? No. Which means it is very clear, in order to memorize an information for a longer duration, we need to visualize this. Now, so sir, I want to have a quick chat with you out here. Now, honestly answer kijiye, honestly answer, sir, that suppose this has happened to you, and just raise your hand, sir, if that has happened to you. You met an individual, say 6 months back, somewhere in a party. You met that fellow for the first time. You shook hands with him. You asked the names. Okay, aapne naam pucha, and he answered. Now, after 6 months, this man, you meet the same man after 6 months in another party, somewhere else in some other function. Okay. Now, has that happened to you? You look at that fellow and you go like this. I have seen this man. I have seen this man. And when this man comes close to us, unfortunately, the first question that we ask this fellow is, sir, what is your name? I forgot your name. I remember we met, but I forgot your name. Always happens. Sajeev Saab kehte hain, it always happens. Now let us try to understand, Balan sir, why does it always happen to us that we forget the name and we remember the face? The answer is in front of you. Because when that man introduced himself to you 6 months ago, you heard his name and you saw his face. Are you with me? That's pretty clear. Aapne naam ko suna, you heard his name and you saw his face. And that's the reason, my dear friend, remember, we always remember the face because we see it and we forget what we hear. Visualization is one of the most important and powerful secret of memory. Now, let us try to understand, why is it so? How many of you really want to know why is it so that what we hear, we tend to forget, but what we see, we tend to remember? How many of you want to know this? Type yes in the comment box if you really want to know that. Yes, I want to know the secret behind it, sir. Please share that with me. I really want to know. Fantastic, all of you. Thank you. Now let's try to understand, why is it so? The research says, now you guys tell me, how does information travels to the brain? When we hear something, how does it travel to the brain? When we see something, how does it travel to the brain? The answer is very simple. Nerves are connected. Isn't that true, Ashutosh sir? Nerves are connected from your eye to your brain, from your ear to your brain. There are certain numbers of nerves which are connected to the brain. And the information actually takes the paths of the nerves and reaches the brain, where the brain understands, interprets. That is perfect. Nerves take it. Now let us try to understand why we remember what we see and we forget, or we tend to forget more what we hear. The number of nerves. Now, the next statement is very important. All of you listen to the next statement. The number of nerves connected from your eye to your brain are 22 times more than the number of nerves connected from your ear to your brain. Yes, you heard me right. I shall repeat. The number of nerves which are connected from your eye to your brain are 22 times more than the number of nerves connected from your ear to your brain. Let me give it a mathematical angle to this. For example, if kaan se brain tak, from ear to brain, there are say 10,000 nerves which are connected, then from eye to brain, there are 2,20,000 nerves connected. Are you with me? And that is why we remember more what we see, what we visualize, and we tend to forget what we hear. How many of you got this correct? Type 22 in the chat box if you understood the 22 times concept. that 22 times nerves are connected from your eye to your brain. Type 22 in the chat box to perfect. You got this correct. My dear friends, the first secret that we learned today is visualization. Now, going ahead, raise your hand or type technique in the chat box if you want to learn the technique, because now very soon I shall be teaching all of you a technique. Come on. How many of you want to learn a very wonderful technique? Fantastic. Super. That's awesome. So now let us move ahead and learn something very, very powerful as far as memory is concerned. Now, before we actually learn the technique, okay, I want to show you what a technique can do. Okay. Now I have something very crazy for all of us out here. I'm just stopping my share here. Now, Ashutosh sir also gave some challenges to me, and even I took some of the challenges. How many of you know what is a binary number, Ashutosh sir? We all know, I believe all the cadets out here, the students out here, most of them would know what is a binary number. A binary number is nothing but a combination of 1 and 0. That's correct. Right? A series of binary numbers can be like 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. It can be any combination of ones and zeros. What do you think, Ashutosh sir? I want to have a quick chat with you here. Is it easy or it will be difficult for you to memorize a list of binary digits if I give it to you?
To a certain extent, 4, 5 digits, 10 digits, I can. Beyond that,
I can. Perfect. Now I want to take a challenge out here, and I have used a technique called as musical windows in order to memorize something extremely powerful. Okay. And I want to show you that. What if, Ashutosh sir, if I send this sheet to you right now, which is a combination of ones and zeros, there are 240 digits, right from alphabet A. These are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. I have divided these 240 digits into 10 rows. So every row has 24 digits, all of you. Okay. 24 digits, so sir, in one row. And there are 10 such rows from A to J. I have purposely given them the names as A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, so that you can bifurcate and distinguish between every row. Now, if you see, Ashutosh sir, the entire information in front of you, there is no sequence attached to it. Can you see, sir? Every row is different than the other row. Isn't that true?
Yeah.
And there are 240 such digits in front of you. If I ask you, Ashutosh sir, to memorize this list, is it possible?
no way.
No way. It looks an impossible task for any human brain to do it. But trust me, with techniques, my students will do this in less than 3 minutes. Yes. But I want to share something very exciting, Ashutosh sir, as you have given so many challenges to me. This is one of the challenges that I have accepted. And memorizing this 240 binary digits, right? I believe you can see the screen well, Ashutosh sir.
Yeah.
All of you? Fantastic. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to move my face towards the other end so that I don't see the computer, and the list is in front of you. Are you with me, Ashutosh sir? I'll need your help in this because, I'm not seeing the screen. And I'm going to reproduce this 240 binary digits from A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J. All of you have a close look at the computer. Row-wise, I'm going to go, Ashutosh sir, row-wise. First is A row, then I'll go for the B row and C row and D row. Whenever you feel like you need to cut me in between and want me to go randomly, I'm game for it. I shall take that challenge. When you feel, Amrut, why don't you do it in reverse order? I am game for it.
Okay.
But don't ask me diagonally, sir.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So now, Ashutosh sir, I'll begin this, Captain Saab, with your permission and with the audience permission, of course. Let's do this. Okay. Wish me all the best, all of you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So let's do this, guys, all of us. Okay. This is humanly possible and absolutely possible. I'll go for the first row. I've closed my eyes. I'm looking at the other direction completely. And the first row is A for apple. And I shall go from left to right. Okay. 1 1 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 0 1 1 0 1 1 0 0 0 1 1 0 0 1 0. Is it right?
Yep.
Fantastic. So now, fantastic. Let us go for the second one, if you agree. The second one, B for ball. Okay. 1 1 1 0 0 0 1 1 1 0 1 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 110. Is it right?
Right.
Fantastic. I'll go for C. C for cat. All of us. Okay. C for cat. Okay. 001 100 110 000 101 001 101 100. Just give me that. Yes. So, sir, thank you so much. Now,
go back, reverse for A.
Okay, you want me to do reverse for A. So let us try reverse for A. Okay. Yes. Let us do this. 0 1 0 0 1 1 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1 0 0 1 0 0 0 0 0 1 1.
Awesome.
That's right?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Now I'll go for I'll go for D. D for dog, and let me try the row number D. D for dog. 101 110 111 100 001 100 111 100. Is it right?
Yep.
Captain Saab, can you if you want to ask me any random rows, if you want to try which I've not covered, I'll be more than happy.
You can go to H straight.
H for horse. Okay, all of you look at the H for horse, the third last row if I'm not wrong, right? H-I-J. So H1. Okay, let us go to H. Okay, the H row is 110 001 001 101 111 100 010 011. Is it right?
Right. Got it.
Now, now type awesome in the chat box if you really felt that was super awesome. Come on, all of you. If you really felt that was awesome, just type in the chat box. It was awesome. Now, how many of you want to learn, how I did it? Now, this is a little bit a complex structure to learn, okay? But I'm surely going to invite you for learning this as well, okay? Let us try to understand, Ashutosh sir, what goes into it exactly. What goes into it is two systems, okay? I've been using two systems in order to achieve this result. The first system that I was using is a journey method. It is also famously known as a mind palace or a Roman room method. And the second method is actually invented by my coach, by my guru in the year 1978. And the name of that technique is musical windows, invented by Vikrant Narayan Safekar. He holds a copyright for the system. Now, this system actually helps me to convert any numerical data in images. Isn't that awesome? And once I convert any numerical data in an image, I'll be able to recall that image. And all I did, what was happening in my brain? Actually, I did not store the numbers. Actually, Ashutosh sir, I stored the images. And I was decoding those images and giving you the answers in numerical form. Are you with me, all of you? And this is something we'll be definitely learning when in the masterclass, when we meet. This is a complex structure to learn, but a very in 45 minutes, we'll all be through to how to memorize numbers. Fantastic. Now, if you really love that, next thing, which now Ashutosh sir will share something about it. And Ashutosh sir, we did something called as the NX1, NX2. Can you throw some light, because there are people here who might not know what is that exactly, because there are people outside the fraternity of T.S. Rahman as well. So if you can share about the NX1, NX2.
Right. So I had given Amrut, since he's good with numbers, so I had told him that generally when we go for our orals, like when we are from cadet to second mate to mate to masters, that is going for captain's exam, we are supposed to give written and oral examination. In the oral examination, we are asked for dates. So marine pollution is a topic in which there are various annexes. Annex 1 is for oil, Annex 2, Annex 3, Annex 4, sewage, garbage. So these are certain rules which has come into effect to prevent pollution. So those dates are very important for us to, when the surveyors ask us question, we need to give those dates. So I had given you those dates, that whether you can remember that. And you being a non-shippy, so let's see how it goes.
No, actually the data is not humongous. Actually, he shared, he has been very kind to me and shared a very small data with me. But thank you for being so kind with me. But to share something, remembering dates and events, I'm very proud to share one of the genius minds of our country, Pratik Yadav. He's a national champion and he happens to be an IM world champion last year. Is an Indian boy who has a record for memorizing highest number of events and dates in 5 minutes, and that's a Guinness Book of World Record. So we are all proud of him. He's a very good friend of mine and wonderful boy. And the techniques goes into picture. The technique and the functioning of these techniques, which I'm going to share with you right now. But before I do, here is the data which Ashutosh sir is referring, and pretty small though. But I will try and answer those questions. Ashutosh sir, once again I've changed my direction. And Ashutosh sir, if you can ask me randomly, I shall try and answer those NX1 and NX2s. Yes, sir. Ashutosh sir, you're
Annex 4 date.
okay.
Yeah, Annex 4 date.
Okay. Annex 4 date is 27th September 2003. Is it right?
Yeah, right. Annex 1.
Annex 1. Annex 1 happened on 2nd October 1983. Is it right, sir?
Absolutely. Annex 6.
Annex
6.
6. Okay, the last one. Okay, Annex 6 happened on 1/9, that is 19th May and 2005. Is that right, sir?
Right, absolutely.
Perfect. Yes, sir. You can go for the others.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, you proved it.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Type once again, wonderful, if you found that was wonderful. Now, I want to share something about it, sir. It is not that I could do it today, okay? And I want to tell you the time which I took to do it, okay? It only took me less than 30 seconds to memorize these 6 events, okay? And I have to promise Ashutosh sir one thing to you. If you ask me today, I'll be able to recall tonight. If you ask me after a week's time, I will be able to recall after a week's time. If you ask me after 15 days, I will still be able to recall after 15 days. Now that is the power of a technique. Are you with me, all of you? Fantastic. Now, Ashutosh sir gave another challenge to me, okay, and I want to share that with all of you. Okay, that is even more horrifying. But what I did is, Ashutosh sir, I took time to understand the answer, okay, the information that you shared with me. But to be very honest, I could not understand the information. And for that very reason, what I did is, I have memorized certain important points which are involved in the information which you had shared with me. Is that fair enough? Now, there is a reason why I did it, because I could not make meaning out of it, because I'm a non-shippy person, but I still ended up memorizing your terms. Okay, fantastic. So now here you go, guys. I want to show you that information which he shared, and this is the information which Ashutosh sir shared with me. This is ROR, Rules of the Road 19E and ROR 1C. Is that correct, Ashutosh sir?
Yes, absolutely.
Now what I've done is, okay, these are the important points which are actually a part of the ROR 19E and the RORC. Ashutosh sir, can you see those points?
Exactly. Yeah.
21 or 22 points are part of it. Am I right?
Yeah.
Now what I try to do is, I will, Ashutosh sir, recall all, okay, with your permission.
Yes.
Should I? Okay, fantastic. So the first one is accept, right?
Correct.
The second one is collision, risk of collision. The third one is beam, the fourth one is fog signal, the fifth one is vessel, the sixth one is close quarter, the seventh one is minimum speed, the eighth one is a course, ninth one is an event navigate, the 10th one is extreme caution, the 11th one is danger. Is that right?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Danger collision. 12th one is nothing. The 13th one is government. The 14th one is The 14th one is additional station. The 15th one is light signal. The 16th one is a whistle signal. The 17th one, war of shipping, ship wars, right? Something of that
Ships
sort.
of war.
Ships of war. Okay, that was 16. 17 one is convoy. 18 is fishing vessels. Okay, okay, that's right. 19 one shipping vessels, and the 20th one, maybe I'm missing one or two. There is shapes, and the last one is signals.
Yep.
Is that right? Fantastic. Now, just type wow if you found that wow. Some of you just type wow if you really found that was okay. That was wow. Okay. Now, I could have actually memorized everything out there, but simply I could not end up doing it because I could not make meaning out of it. And a very humble request, if all students are sitting out here, never memorize anything by rote memory. Just without understanding, I simply request all of you, do not go for memorization. Okay. Understanding is the first level before the memory. Memory baad mein aati hai, memorization comes later on. The first rule while you sit for your studies should be always the step number one, and understand the concept. Makes sense, Ashok sir? That makes deep sense. Fantastic. So guys, I want to teach a very fantastic technique to all of you. Are you ready, guys? How many of you want to learn that technique? Come on, show me both your hands. Right? Thank you, Chalo. Thank you for that. Yes. So let us learn. Okay. So I have got a very simple technique for all of you. Okay. Something that I can, play around, experiment right now in a couple of minutes. Okay. Now, let us not go for high level techniques because that will consume a lot of time. Let us go with simple methods, simple techniques. Okay. Now, and that would work wonders. Now, I want to ask you, in order to memorize such information, how long perhaps will you take? Okay. I have information in front of you, and I'm going to teach all of you united method, how to memorize list. Okay. The list which I memorize right now, which included 22 items in it. There are 22 items in that. And I use a different method. Actually, I use journey method there, but I'm going to teach you something different, and that is united method. Okay, to memorize similar list. So I have a list in front of me, and the list is here for all of you. So for a list like this, from 1 to 20, there are 20 items in this list. How long perhaps will you take to memorize these 20 objects? Now it is your line, Ashtosh sir, is open, and that's the reason I'm questioning you again and again. Sorry for that. But I want to ask you, for any student, because you have been catering to so many students, you are guiding and inspiring so many students for so many years. What do you think for an average student? Okay, how much time perhaps a student will take to memorize that 20 list? Condition number one, it has to be in the exact order. Condition number two, he has to remember it for a very long duration, for say 15 days or 1 month, because that is how they study for a long duration. Third, he should be able to recall in reverse order. Chalo, third wala jane deta hu, sir. Let us focus on the first two. And I think most of them have answered it. I think, somebody says 1 week, somebody says 2 days. No, you might not actually take so much time. But I think, Ashtosh sir, I think 20 minutes or 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Or 45 minutes. Some of them are saying, just type in the chat box, how long will you take to memorize that list? Come on. Just type in the chat box. Most of you are typing, but I want to see how long you'll take. So 2 hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes. Fair enough. Great. Some people are actually saying 3 minutes, and that is awesome. I really, I'm amazed to see that 3 minutes. That is awesome. But most of you, I think 90% or 99%, so sir, they are saying either an hour or 2 hours or 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Okay, thank you. So guys, how about doing it under 2 minutes? And how about Ashtosh sir doing it right now under 2 minutes? Isn't that awesome? Right? Yeah. So let us learn, all of us, how to do and how to memorize very quickly, okay, this entire list using a method called as united method. Now, what are we supposed to do? Listen to me, the rules of united method. The rule number one is, whatever I'm going to say, you're actually going to visualize that information. Okay, Bhumi says we can do it in 2 minutes. One word we can do in 2 minutes. Okay, now do not worry, we'll do it all the 20 in 2 minutes. Now, step number one, visualize the information which I'm going to share with you. Whatever I say, whatever I utter out of my mouth, you're going to picturize and visualize everything. Second, The second method or the second step for the united method is you are going to associate the first object or the first item with the second one, the second object with the third one, the third with the fourth one, and the fourth with the fifth one. You means it will be me who will be doing, but I'll be guiding you through it. All of you are game for this?
Yes.
Fantastic. So guys, if you are ready, I want all of you to close your eyes, because that way your visualization will be actually very powerful. I request all of you to close your eyes. Come on, come on, come on. Fantastic. I'm assuming that you have closed your eyes. Okay. Now, these 20 objects, let's all try to memorize. You haven't even read that, but that is still fine. You'll still be able to memorize. All of you close your eyes and we begin now. So imagine you're holding a huge toothbrush in your hand. Can you imagine? Fantastic. With that toothbrush, you're brushing an elephant's teeth. Can you see the elephant? Fantastic. Now the elephant farts and carrots come out of the elephant. Now that is crazy, and that craziness is very important, right? Ridiculous your association should be. So the elephant farts and the carrots comes out. You hold one carrot and you throw it in the heaven. Come on, all of you, throw the carrot in the heaven. Close your eyes and throw the carrot in the heaven. Now you go to the heaven and you see in the heaven, there are all mobile shops. Okay, what do you see in the heaven? All mobile shops. God is not even spared with mobiles, right? So mobile shops in heaven. You enter the mobile shop and a ghost attacks on you. Fantastic. Now the ghost is running behind you with a torch in his hand, a blue colored torch in his hand. Fantastic. Now you switch on the torch, he switches on the torch and fire comes out of the torch. Can you see the fire? Fantastic. Now that fire falls on a building ko aag lag jati hai, right? The building catches fire. Now the people who are staying inside the building, they eat Maggie. They are eating Maggie by placing it on the fire, right? Usi fire par garam kar rahe Maggie. Fantastic. That's crazy. So the building people are, eating Maggie with the help of that fire. Fantastic. Now you hold that Maggie, aap us Maggie ko chhin lete ho, you pull that Maggie and you put it in your mouth. Put that Maggie in your mouth. And as soon as you put that Maggie in your mouth, something gets stuck and you put your hand inside your mouth and you try to pull out what it is. And you see a snake coming out of your mouth. Did you visualize that? A snake coming out of your mouth. Fantastic. Now, this snake sits in a rocket, okay? And the rocket goes up. Fantastic. Now, snake is in the rocket and the rocket goes up. And when the rocket goes up, it hits a kite. Patang. A kite ko hit karta hai. Now, the kite comes down and a dog attacks the kite. Dog apne muh mein pakad leta hai. The dog is holding the kite. Now, the dog is very thirsty. He goes to an ice cream shop and the dog is eating an ice cream. Can you see the ice cream? Fantastic. Fantastic. That's nice. That's nice. Now you take the ice cream, you hold the ice cream, aap chhin lete ho ice cream, you pull that ice cream and there is a sugarcane machine. You know sugarcane machine? Very good. Now you put that ice cream in a sugarcane machine from one end. Just put that ice cream from one end of the sugarcane machine and from the other end of the sugarcane machine, lipsticks come out. What comes out? Lipsticks comes out. Very good. Now you hold that lipstick and samne se there is a buffalo standing in front of you. You are coloring the lips of the buffalo. What a beautiful and handsome buffalo, right? Crazy buffalo. So now you're coloring the lips of the buffalo. Fantastic. That's good. And now the buffalo is getting angry and there's a BMW car who's running towards it and the buffalo hits the BMW car and the BMW car goes and falls in the sea. The last object is sea. Guys, congratulations. You have already memorized all 20 objects. What we'll do is we'll do one quick revision. Just keep your eyes closed, keep your eyes closed. And if your answers are correct, okay, we'll see what happened, what needs to be done. But keep your eyes closed, aake band, keep your eyes closed and let us begin once again. Okay, you're holding a what? You're holding a big and you're going to answer this. Very good. Toothbrush, yes. Toothbrush, you're brushing whom? You're right, elephant. Elephant farts and what comes out? You're right, carrots. Carrots, you throw it in. You're right. You're throwing it in heaven. Very good. Keep your eyes closed. Yeah. Heaven mein aapko kya dikhai diya? What do you see in the heaven? Yes. Mobile shops. You enter the mobile shop and who attacks? Right. Yes. The ghost attack. What is the ghost holding in his hand? That's right. A torch. He switches on the torch and what comes out? Yes, that's right. It's fire. And what catches the fire? What catches fire? The building. Fantastic. And what are the building people eating? They're eating Maggie. You pull the Maggie, you put it in your mouth and what comes out of the mouth? Yes, that's a snake. Yes, and the snake is sitting in what? That's right. It's sitting in a rocket. Yes, and the rocket hits up Where? A kite. Very good. The kite comes down, and who is holding the kite? Yes, you're right. The dog. The dog is thirsty and he wants to eat something. What is he eating? Yes, ice cream. What do you put, where do you put the ice cream into? Yes, you're right. And that is a sugarcane machine. And what comes from the other end of the sugarcane machine? Awesome. That's a lipstick, right? And aap kisko rangte hai? Whose lips are you coloring? Yes, that's a buffalo. And the buffalo, the angry buffalo hits whom? Yes, the BMW car. And where does the car falls? Yes, it falls in the sea. Guys, if you got it right, type 2020 in the chat box if you got all 20 right. Come on. Type 2020 if you got all 20 right. Ashutosh sir, can we unmute somebody's line to recall these 20 objects? Any student wants to do it, I'll be happy if we can do all 20. Somebody at least from the audience. Is it possible by any chance?
Just let me check 1 minute.
Now raise your hand if you want to recall this. Anybody wants to try this? Recalling these 20 objects? Anybody? I think Saransh Patil wants to do this, sir. I think that's a cute little boy. Give him the opportunity. Just give him the opportunity to speak. Yes, raise your hand and tell me that I want to do it. Come on. Anybody wants to do this? Saransh, by any chance, can I unmute you by any chance? Ashutosh sir is checking. Now, type in the chat box, lovely, if you loved what we did. Come on. Type in the chat box, lovely, if you loved what we did. So that was very crazy. Now, which moment do you enjoy? Saransh is unmuted. Is it? Is he unmuted? So I request, yeah, Saransh, you are unmuted now. Unmute from your end, beta.
Yes, sir.
Saransh, how are you, dear?
Sir, I did well.
You did well. Okay, great. So Saransh, are you ready for 1 se lekar 20?
Yes.
You are? Fantastic. Now your time starts now. Come on, go for it.
Toothbrush, elephant, carrot, mobile shop, ghost, torch, fire, Maggie.
Hold on. Once again. Start from the beginning. Once again, just write out.
Toothbrush.
Yes.
Elephant. Carrot.
Yes, very good.
Mobile shop.
Carrot goes where? Visualize.
Mobile shop.
Visualize. नहीं, उसके पहले. Where do you throw the carrot?
Table.
Right. Up in the. Come on, go for it. You can do it. Heaven. Thank you, Nidhi, for helping him out. Heaven, may you see the mobile shop. Fantastic. Go for the next one. Come on. Yes, go for it.
Go.
Very
Torch.
good. Yes.
Fire. Maggie.
Yes.
Snake.
Building and Maggie. Very good.
Rocket.
Yes.
Rocket.
Yes.
Kite.
Very good.
Dog.
Yes.
Ice cream.
Yes.
Sugarcane machine.
Yes.
Lipstick.
Very good.
Buffalo.
Yes.
BMW.
Yes. Let us clap for this lovely little boy, Saransh. Okay. Fantastic, Saransh. God bless you. And you did awesome. Anybody out here wants to try it in reverse order? Raise your hand. Reverse order. Anybody wants to go for a reverse order? Come on. Raise your hand if you want to go for a reverse order. Disha says, sir, I can. Can we unmute her line? Or, Sajeev Balan says, sir, I want to go for this. Chalo, Sajeev ke liye unmute kijiye. Sajeev ka line, if somebody can unmute Sajeev's line, he is super excited. Come on, Sajeev. Are you ready, Sajeev? Your time starts now and you go in reverse order. Okay? So, come on, go for it.
C, BMW, Buffalo, lipstick, sugarcane machine, ice cream, dog, kite, rocket, and snake, Maggie, building, torchlight, fire, torchlight, ghost, mobile shop, heaven, carrot, elephant, and toothbrush.
I think let us give this boy a huge round of applause. Come on, awesome, awesome. I think let us clap and let us type Sajeev in the chat box if you loved what Sajeev did, because guys, that was difficult one. Doing it in reverse order, and he did fantastic job. Sajeev, you're awesome. Great. And how many of you are super happy to learn this? now tell me, Ashutosh sir, what was your awesome moment in the technique that we learned right now? Anybody? Do you know what was my awesome moment in this technique that we, demonstrated right now? Come closer to the screen. I'll tell you what was my awesome moment. When the elephant farted and the carrots came out. that was crazy, isn't it? Now, in fact, the super awesome moment was when Sajeev went in reverse order and the carrots went back where it came from. Right? Absolutely crazy, right? So guys, please understand, lipstick of buffalo. Thank you so much. So guys, please understand, if you do with rote memory, we lose out the fun. Isn't that true? When we repeat that stuff, I know how you would have done it. I know how you would have done it. You would have done it, you would have repeated the stuff: toothbrush, elephant, carrot. And then you miss the entire fun of learning. Now, first thing what we realized is we did it well in time. Okay, in spite of thousands of people listening to me, we did it, and still we did it well in time. Second, whatever we did, we enjoyed it. Did you enjoy what you did? Fantastic. And the third benefit of learning the technique is whatever you memorize, you actually tend to remember it for a longer duration. Yes or no? Raise your hand for this. Yes, sir. I'll be able to recall tomorrow also. Raise your hand if you'll be able to recall tomorrow. Raise your hand if you'll be able to do it after a week's time. Come on, raise your hand if you'll be able to do it after 15 days of time. Outstanding, guys. And that is the power of the technique. Now, how about if I help you guys how to use the same technique in your studies and memorize the studies? How many of you want to learn from me how to memorize history or geography, or if I'm I'm a Navy cadet, if I'm into the shipping industry, please help me, sir. I'm a shipping industry guy. I'm an 18-year-old boy. I'm an 18-year girl. Please help me out how to memorize that stuff, because I'm going to crack interviews. A lot of questions are going to come to me in my live interviews, into one-to-one interviews, and I'll have to be, dependent on my memory. So how many of you really want to learn from me these fantastic techniques? And I shall be teaching you guys how to apply them in your studies. Type happy if you're happy to know this. Sir, I'm very happy to know this. Come on, all of you. Fantastic. So thank you. And let us move ahead and learn something super awesome. If you love this technique, let us now learn something very, very fascinating, something very awe-inspiring. How many of you want to learn the next technique? So type next one in the chat box if you want to learn from me the next one. Come on. Type next one in the chat box if you want to learn the next one from me. Awesome. Chalo. The next one, I want all of you to be very focused for the next one. Okay. Now, this technique which I'm going to teach you right now is a bit too technical, and I need your complete focus. Those who are listening to me on YouTube, on Zoom, thank you all for joining. Thanks a lot. You guys are simply awesome, and I am enjoying my evening like anything. Thank you for coming. So all of you, I request you to be focused in front of your screen. Do not move, because what I'm going to share right now is a bit too technical. Okay. Now, what is it, sir? What is it? I'll go for it. Right. The next method, which I'm going to teach all of you, is called as, here you go. It's called as a primacy and a recency effect. What is it called? It is called as primacy and recency effect. Why don't you simply jot this down somewhere in your notebook? Because this concept is actually a very, very important concept in our studies. Yes. Just type primacy and recency, not type, just write down somewhere in your notebook. Did you note down? I'll just shut the screen. I'll just stop the share. Okay. Now, what do you mean by primacy and recency effect? Okay, I'll be sharing Tanveer Singh with all of you. What do you mean by primacy and recency effect? Okay. Now, I always say this: Primacy and recency effect are one of the two beautiful concepts which you all need to learn. And I'm going to just not share this technique or a concept with you. I shall also share with you how to apply this technique in the padhai, in your studies. Make sense, all of you? Ready to rock and roll? Do this if you're ready to rock and roll. I can't see you, but I can still feel you. So you can do this if you're ready to rock and roll. Fantastic. So guys, let us understand what is primacy and recency effect. Before I teach you this, let us first understand what do you mean by a learning episode. Okay, I'm going to share something what is meant by a learning episode. What is learning episode? Learning episode is a non-stop hours of studies that you do. Okay, so for example, if you're sitting at 6 p.m. and you get up at 9 p.m. So what is your learning episode? 3 hours. How many of you got this correct? Samajh gaya, sir, I got this properly. Learning episode is 6 to 9 p.m. is 3 hours learning episode. If you sit from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., that becomes a 2 hours of learning episode. How many of you got learning episode? So I got it, sir. I got the number of hours that we sit non-stop is called as learning episode. Now type in the chat box, how long do you sit for studies? Like 2 hours, for 3 hours, 4 hours, non-stop. I'm talking about non-stop. Just type in the chat box, how long do you study? Okay, so some people are saying 2 hours, 3 hours. Okay, let me check the chat box. Okay, 3 hours, fantastic. 1.5 hours, that's great. Now, one humble request to all of you. Now, 8 hours, that is awesome. Okay, 2 hours, fantastic. Now, please try and understand, from today onwards, you shall not be sitting for long hours for studying. Yes, please stop studying for long hours, like 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours. Please stop doing that. Some kids are super happy and they are like, yes, sir, in the past 60 minutes, it's the first thing that, I loved about you. You are asking me to stop studying for long hours. some kids are, calling their parents, Papa, please come here. This man seems to be very intelligent. He is asking me to not study for long hours. Yes. So my dear friends, please stop jumping out of joy and please listen to me. What do I really mean by not studying for long hours? Okay. Please try and understand that. Let us all understand primacy and recency effect. Now, what is primacy effect? Please try and understand. So, if I don't have to study for like long hours of 2 hours and 3 hours, then what should I do, sir? I'm coming to it. Primacy and recency effect. Now, primacy effect, what does primacy effect says? Primacy effect says whatever you memorize, I'll repeat, whatever you memorize at the beginning of the learning episode, you tend to remember it for a longer duration. Are you with me? You got this correct? I shall repeat. Primacy effect says whatever you guys memorize at the beginning of the learning episode, you tend to remember it for a very long duration. Okay. Sir, why so? Why is it so that we tend to remember it for a long duration? The answer is pretty simple. Whenever you sit for studying, when you begin your learning episode, when you begin it, how is your energy level? It is super awesome, sir. Right? Super awesome if your energy levels are very high when you sit for studying. Isn't that true? Yes, you are full on energy. Yes or no? Yes. Sajeev says to his father, Papa, look at me. How am I going to study now? I am feeling like a Superman. Right? We all are very enthusiastic at the beginning. Right? Absolutely correct. Energies are very high, and that's the reason you end up memorizing. Your focus level is awesome, your concentration level is awesome, your energies are awesome, and you end to remember and memorize whatever you memorize at the beginning of the learning episode. Sir, how long does this time frame last? Primacy effect, isi ko kaha jata. This is what primacy effect is. Whatever you memorize at the beginning of the learning episode, you tend to remember it. Sir, how long does this time last? So this time lasts for 20 minutes, 20 minutes. So whatever you memorize in the first 20 minutes, you end up remembering it for a longer duration. Okay. Now, so what is recency effect? Recency effect says whatever is your learning episode and whatever you memorize at the end of the learning episode, okay, you tend to remember that also for a longer duration of time. Are you with me? Whatever you learn at the end of the learning episode, okay? And that is called as a recency effect. Now, let us try to understand why is it so that you end up remembering what you read at the end. It is simple, because you read Disha just now. You memorized it just now, okay? You did it recently, you did it just now, and that's the reason you end up remembering what you memorize at the end and what you memorize at the beginning. Sir, how long does this period of recency effect last? This period lasts for around 10 minutes. Are you with me? And my dear friend, the first 20 minutes are called as prime time 1, and the last 10 minutes of recency effect is called as prime time 2. Come on, do this with me if you want to, put this well in your brain. First 20 minutes is prime time 1, and the last 10 minutes is called as prime time 2. That is primacy effect, and this is recency effect, okay? 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 20, 10. And what is it in between? Now, in between, it is called as downtime, which means whatever you memorize in between, in the middle of your learning episode, you tend to forget that information. Are you with me? You do not remember that information for a long duration. Baat samajh mein aa rahi hai? Are you trying to gauge this? Fantastic. Now, if you got this correct, about primacy and recency effect, now let us try to understand that how to apply this in your studies. Padhai mein isko kaise apply karna hai? From today onwards, you guys are not going to study for long hours, for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. No. The research says your learning episode should not be like 2, 3 hours, 4 hours. Your learning episode should be of 40 minutes. How much? 40 minutes. Now let's try to understand why is it so that we need to memorize or learn and remember for 40 minutes. Now, when you do it for 40 minutes, what does the curve says? Primacy, recency effects, what does it say? The first 20 minutes are prime time. That's a good time to memorize. Okay, and in that 40 minutes, the last 10 minutes, recency effect, prime time 2, last 10 minutes. So 40 mein, prime time 1 and prime time 2, 20 plus 10 becomes how much of prime time and how much of good studies? 20 plus 10? 30. And what is a downtime in that? Downtime is in the middle of 10 minutes. Do you agree? What is the downtime? 10 minutes. And the research says whatever you try to remember and memorize during the downtime, you tend to forget it in the long run. Are you with me? Now, whatever new information you memorize in downtime, you tend to forget it. How many of you want me to share a brain hack here? Should I share a brain hack here? I'll share one brain hack here. After 20 minutes, what happens is actually your brain starts deteriorating. The concentration level starts coming down. Your focus gets coming down, and the downtime begins after 20 minutes, and it lasts in the 40 minutes episode. It lasts in between 10 minutes. So what are you supposed to do? Guys, in the downtime, do not memorize anything new. Yes, do not memorize anything new. Revise and review what you memorized before. Are you with me? Now, how is this a brain hack? It is very simple, because if you do this, okay, your brain is not worried about, holding new information, because this is an old information which it has to hold in which time? In the downtime. So it does not need more focus, more attention, because it is already deteriorated, and in downtime, you will remember the old information. How many of you got the concept of downtime? Type downtime if you realize that in downtime, we will not memorize anything new. I will revise what is something that is old. Fantastic. So guys, you got the structure of 40 minutes. Now the brain hack works so wonderful that the time which was actually downtime, you did not memorize anything new. And because you memorize and revise something old, downtime also became what? It actually became like an uptime. A wonderful time to study. Are you getting, guys? So this way, when we actually study for 40 minutes, 20 plus 10, 30 minutes prime time, downtime, revise something that is old, what we have already memorized, and your 40 minutes become awesome 40 minutes. You got this correct? Yes, Now, what to do, sir, after 40 minutes? Sir, are we done after 40 minutes? No. What you're supposed to do after 40 minutes, you will take a break of 5 to 7 minutes. Hello, you'll take a break of 5 to 7 minutes. After the 40 minutes of first learning episode, you'll go on a break of 5 to 7 minutes. Hello, kids, please come closer to the screen. I said 5 to 7 minutes. Minutes. Especially those kids who are not sitting with their parents. I know what you do. After the session, you will go and tell your mother, and you will tell your mother and your father, mother, what should I tell you about Amrut sir? He's a fantastic man. You know what a brain expert he is. Your mother will ask, what happened, beta? What did he share? And you know, when you will tell your mother, he told me that you are supposed to study for 40 minutes and take a break for 7 days. Guys, please don't do this to your parents, okay? The break is not of 7 days. The break is of 5 to 7 minutes. Please note that very carefully, okay? Now, sir, what to do in that 5 to 7 minutes? Please tell us what to do in that 5 to 7 minutes. Okay, step number 1. Do not sit at the same place and touch your mobile phone. Please. Do not sit at the same place and touch that mobile phone. Are you with me? Are you with me? How many parents, if you're listening to me, type mobile in the chat box if you want your child to stay away from distraction while he or she is studying. Parents type mobile or TV or WhatsApp or Facebook or Twitter or Instagram in the chat box if you feel that these are distractions. Please in the chat box, whatever is your distraction. Captain sir, I think somebody's line is unmuted. If you can mute Hideshji. Somebody's line is open, I believe. Ashutosh sir, if you're listening. Yes. So guys, do not touch that mobile. So 5 to 7 minutes may what you are supposed to do. You get it from the seat. Do not touch the. Have parents at home that time. Please go and talk to your parents. Please meet your mother. Please meet your father. Please hug your sister, your brother out there. And in that 5 to 7 minutes, do not forget to eat something. Okay. Now I'm going to share something about memory diet. How many of you want to know? Can we draw? The answer is absolutely yes, Akshara. You can definitely draw. Type in the chat box if you want to know something about the memory diet. Type diet in the chat box or type memory diet in the chat box if you really want to know a little about your memory diet. So in that 5 to 7 minutes, I'll quickly share with you in 5 to 7 minutes what you can eat. Okay, fantastic. Now, if you really want to boost your memory, I highly recommend strawberries, mulberries, blackberries, cranberries. जो berries वाले fruits है, berry fruits, okay? Strawberries and all are very good for your brain, for your memory, okay? So berries. What else, sir? Vitamin C contents in which are very high, fruits which are very high in vitamin C, like, you know, amla, you know, you can have dry amlas, or you can have, nimbu pani, lime juice you can have, okay? And you can have musambi, you can have oranges, you know, stuff like that, okay? Yes, vitamin C high content. Okay. Now, what else, sir? What else? You can have, we all know that how well is our kaju, badam, and pistas, and, you know, the dry fruits, they are absolutely fantastic when it comes to your brain and memory. Bananas are instant energizers. Please eat bananas. Dates is awesome, Disha. I really appreciate that. So please eat bananas if you're in the 5 to 7 minutes gap. You need to have energy while you're studying. That is very, very important, right? All of us. So eat bananas. They are very high energizers. They quickly give you energy. That is fantastic. Are you with me? Great. So guys, you can have this food in between that 5 to 7 minutes. You can have a quick chat. Sir, can I chat with my friend for a minute or two? He has messaged me something. Please go ahead in that 5 to 7 minutes. Please go ahead. Sir, can I watch a very fantastic video on the YouTube, or, you know, I have 5 to 7 minutes. Sir, can I watch a video? Please do that. No problem. Are you with me? But 5 to 7 minutes. Make sense? Now, after that 5 to 7 minutes, Ajit ji, you will again come back, and you know, Rana ji, your child will sit on the same place, and you will go for the second round of 40 minutes learning episode. Are you with me? Once again, you will start with the second round of 40 minutes learning episode. The beauty is, again, there is a brain hack. Your brain is again, you know, completely confused because it has now come out of the 40 minutes ke, it has taken a break of 7 minutes, and now it is completely fresh once again, full of energy. And what happens is in the second, at the same subject, Sanjeev, yes, the second 40 minutes, again, for the first 40 minutes, what will you get? Yes, you will get prime time 1. In the last 10 minutes of the second learning episode, what will you get? Prime time 2. And in between, there was a 10 minutes downtime. What do you do in the downtime? Do not memorize anything new. Try and review and revise that you memorized earlier. Are you with me? And this way, your second 40 minutes learning episode become fantastic 40 minutes of learning episode. Are you with me? Now, once you do this, you again go for a 5 to 7 minutes break. Again, the same stuff, you can repeat eating and all, that is fantastic. Again, after the 7 minutes break, you come back and sit in the same place, and you'll go for the third learning episode of 40 minutes. And the beauty is, when you do it for the third time, the first 20 minutes, once again, will be primacy effect, and 20 minutes will be awesome. And the last 10 minutes, again, due to recency effect, once again, the last 10 minutes will be outstanding. Are you with me? And in this way, guys, the downtime, once again, you will revise and review the old information. And this way, all the 40 minutes of the last learning episode will be outstanding. Are you with me? Guys, you studied for the same time, 120 minutes, 2 hours. But what you did is, you 40, 40, 40 with a 5 to 7 minutes gap in between. And that made your entire study of 120 minutes all prime time and fruitful. Are you getting this, guys? All 120 minutes becomes outstanding and fruitful. Now, sir, what is wrong with what I was doing? Now, fantastic. What is wrong with what you are doing is, if you study for 120 minutes, what happens is non-stop. If you study for 120 minutes, the first 20 minutes are awesome. The last 10 minutes are awesome because of prime time 1 and prime time 2, primacy and recency. And what you get is a 90 minutes of downtime. Do you understand? Now, parents, raise your hand if that has happened to your child, that he studied for 2 hours, but he could not memorize well in those 2 hours. Raise your hand if that has happened to you. You studied for 3 hours, you studied for 4 hours. Now, do you understand why that happened to you? Because your child was in downtime for 90 minutes in that non-stop study. How many of you really loved what we learned right now? So, and promise me today, from today onwards, I'm not going to go for like 3 hours, 4 hours of study. And from today onwards, 40 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes break, first 20 minutes, last 10 minutes, downtime, revise. Now type in the chat box, primacy and recency effect, if you really loved what we learned right now. Come on. Sanjay, Sania Patil is saying, loved it, primacy and recency. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So guys, that was about primacy and recency effect. 40 minutes and yes, you got it correct. Downtime, no new reading or no new memorizing, old stuff, old revision. Fantastic. Should I give you a fantastic example of primacy and recency effect? Okay, you laugh at the example, Unfortunately, we kids, we students, we do not use primacy and recency effect in our padhai, in our studies, but film people, they use primacy and recency effect. Filmmakers, they know that whatever you read or remember or see at the first 20 minutes and the last 10 minutes, you will definitely remember. The filmmakers know this. Example, should I give you the example? Come closer to the screen. The example is, and you laugh at the example. The example is, Katappa ne Bahubali ko kyun mara? Now, do you remember the last scene of Bahubali? And the entire India was talking about Bahubali. Yes or yes? Yes. Raise your hand. At least you would have asked 10 people in your surrounding, Katappa ne Bahubali ko kyun mara? Yes, you did. Now raise your hand. Just because to know Katappa ne Bahubali ko kyun mara, you went to watch Bahubali 2? Yes, just to know this. Now, why this mama killed this Bahubali? You went to see Bahubali, guys. Now imagine. Now imagine like this. If Katappa would have killed Bahubali at the middle of the 3 hours movie, in between of the 3 hours movie, in downtime, our brain would have not captured or remembered it for a longer duration. Do you agree? And that's the reason the filmmakers keep the ending so powerful, and especially when they have to go for a sequel, they keep it so powerful that you have to come for the second part. Isn't that true? Yes. Now remember, the first 20 minutes were also crazy of Bahubali. You know the first 20 minutes of Bahubali? Of course, yes, sir. When that Bahubali picked up the shivling and kept it on the shoulder, how can I forget that? And that was Primacy, and Katappa killed Bahubali. That was recency. Guys, please understand. Henceforth, raise your hand if you promise me, I shall go for this 40 minutes primacy and recency effect and shall make my studies much more effective and powerful. Are you ready? Fantastic. So let us move a little bit ahead and understand something more. And my dear friends, what I want to share right now is a little bit about my history as a student. Okay. Now, Ashutosh sir, if you're there, I would love to have a very interesting interaction with you if you're available on the other side of the screen, perhaps. As a child, I want to share with all of you, perhaps here. I used to live in the slums of Mumbai. I live in Mumbai even now, but as a child, Ashutosh sir, I used to live in the slums of Mumbai. I used to live with my Nana and Nani. I never used to live with my parents, actually. My father business, and we were all bankrupt. And they had to shift somewhere else, and I had to live with my Nana and Nani in the slums of Mumbai. How many of you know Ghatkopar in Mumbai? Raise your hand. Somebody? Anybody out here? If you're from Mumbai, definitely you should know Ghatkopar. Great. So I used to live in the slums of Mumbai, in the slums of Ghatkopar. And I want to share, especially, Ashutosh sir, I want to purposely share this today because a lot of students are listening to me, right? And I think this message also is equally important as the memory techniques, okay? And while I was living in the slums, mera jo ghar tha, my house was a 10 by 10 house. It was a jhopadi, it was a small hut of a 10 by 10 room. While I was living with my grandparents out there, let me tell you guys, I did not have electricity in my house, which means, Ashutosh sir, I did not have light, tube light in my house. I did not have a fan in my house. I did not have a television in my house. I did not have a refrigerator in my house. Now, when I had to study at night or at evening, okay, my dear friends, my grandmother had created a kerosene ka batti. How many of you know kerosene, a lamp? You pour kerosene into it and there's a light and there's a lot of ujala around it. And then I used to study at night. At times, Ashutosh sir, the kerosene used to get exhausted. And I used to sit under street lights in order to study. There was a bank close to my house called as Abhyudaya Bank. And in the veranda of the bank, there was a huge amount of lights which were there because, of course, due to security of the bank. And the security wala had a setting with this man. I said, please, whenever I'm not able to study in my house, please allow me, give me one corner of the veranda of your bank. At night especially, I'll come and I'll study there. And he allowed me. Now, my dear friends, I'm the same boy who used to study in slums. Okay. But one thing helped me to grow in life. And that was my belief. The belief that I shall be able to do something outstanding in life as a student. I knew one thing, that the boy or the girl who's scoring 95% or 100% or studying in London University or, Oxford University, I knew one thing, and one thing was very common. I always knew one thing. The one who is a topper, perhaps in your class, there's somebody, boys and girls, that there must be one boy or girl who's a topper, right? But please understand, that topper and you both have equal amount of memory capacity and mind power. Please understand, your ability to do something in life, and there is somebody's ability to do something in life, the topper or somebody studying in London, they all have the same amount of memory capacity and mind power, or unka kabiliyat, their ability to do something is absolutely same as your ability to do something in life. And when I started realizing this very fact, and when I started having that belief system in me, the same Amrut Jadhav who used to study in slums started visiting various countries and educating people on this wonderful subject of memory. Now, this journey, Ashutosh sir, from Singapore, from slums to Singapore, from slums to China, or from slums to different parts of the world, it has only one base, and the fact is the belief system. As students, I want all the students sitting out here to have that belief in your own self. Please type belief in the chat box right now. And if you're sitting with your mother or your father, I want you to do one beautiful thing right now, sitting in this room. If you're looking at me on YouTube, if you're looking at me from Zoom, one humble request, and if you're a student, why don't you hug your mother and your father and perhaps, seek their blessings. And if you're a father or mother sitting along with your child, why don't you keep that hand on your child? And as student, I request all the students to tell your father that I believe in myself. Come on, can you do that for me, all of you? All of you sitting out here, can you look at your father, can you look at your mother and tell your parents that I believe in myself? Fantastic. I think also, sir, we should give a big round of applause to this one. I'm sure they did it. I saw Balan family out here and I'm sure they all did it. Guys, please understand, as a student, whether it is memory, with memory, outstanding memory, whatever it is all about belief in your own ability to do something in life. And of course, with techniques, you can simply turn around things. Okay. I was a very common boy, like, you perhaps who's scoring 60%, 65%, 70%. Okay. But I made, over a period of years, I made some wonderful friends. You want to see my friends, guys? How many of you want to see my friends? Yes. And I want to show you my friends, which I made at various memory championship, at various national level, at international level. My students bagged. Yeah, this is a silver friend, which I made in the year 2000. This is in 2018, when I was second best in India in memorizing highest number of names and faces. These are wonderful friends that I received in my life, and that was only possible with the belief and with the fact that I started using the techniques and the concepts of studying properly. Are you with me? And if you really want to do that, I am going to invite you for how to memorize finite numbers. I'm going to share that with you. And I'm going to invite you for something that is super powerful and super amazing. How many of you really feel that you should study more along with me? Type MORE more if you want to learn more from me, because I'm going to invite all of you for something that is super powerful. Yes, just type more in the chat box, all of you, if you really want to learn something more from me. Fantastic. I'm blessed to see those hand raise and that more. Thank you. So now what is it that we are going to learn? Okay. I'm going to invite you for a masterclass, okay, which starts tomorrow, right? And Ashutosh sir, with your permission, I'm going to share with all of you the content of the masterclass, which is a 4 days masterclass starting tomorrow, okay, wherein I'll be revealing a lot of secrets with all of you, a lot of methods and techniques and methodology with all of you, which will help you to score more, focus more, learn more, and memorize more. Okay. Let us learn and understand what are these wonderful concepts, which I'm going to teach all of you in the masterclass. Okay. Yes, in the Zoom class. It will be on Zoom, undoubtedly. Yes, it will be definitely on Zoom, and that will be starting tomorrow. I'll share all the details with all of you. But now let us move ahead and learn when is it that we are going to meet and learn all these wonderful techniques. Okay. So guys, here I am inviting all of you to attend this masterclass, and there are around 12 very smart and very effective methods and techniques that will help you to memorize more, retain more, score more, and recall more. Okay. Now, what is it? Let us try to understand one by one. The first technique which all of you are going to learn from me is United Method, and the gist of it, in short, you learned that today from me. Okay, United Method. But in the master class, I'm going to help you out how to use the same technique and memorize your information. Okay, it can be answer, it can be paragraph, it can be a short notes or a give reason. We are going to do that. Okay. What next? Spell well method. How many of you make spelling mistake? Type in the chat box spelling mistake if you make spelling mistakes. Now, if you do make spelling mistake, guys, I'm going to teach you a method called a spell well method in order to avoid those spelling mistakes. What is the scientific process to memorize those spellings? Okay, I'm going to share that with you. Great. What is the next thing? Art of revision. Okay. What is the scientific way to revise? Because what you guys are actually doing is not revision. What you guys are actually doing is rereading. Yes. Whenever your mother asks you to go and better revise, what you do is you pick up the book and you start reading. That is rereading what you read before, and what you read now. Once again, it cannot be termed or called as revision. It is actually rereading. Okay, and I'm going to teach all of you how to do that revision. What are the scientific steps of revision? 1, 2, 3 step-by-step approach. I'm going to share that with you. Okay, what is the next thing that we are going to learn? It is called as auto suggestion. Auto suggestion, that is self-talk. Self-talk. Now this is very powerful. We, as a parent, especially I'm talking to the parents, if you're sitting next to your child, we always tell our child how to talk to your mother or your father. You tell your child to how to talk to your, your teacher or your uncles or your aunties or your neighbors. But unfortunately, as parents, we fail to teach our child how to talk to our own self. Yes, and that is the most important learning in the class. In the master class, this is going to be the most powerful concept which I'm going to deliver and share with your child, how to speak to your own self, the self-talk. Because these days, most of you by now know this, that the World Health Organization has declared India as one of the most depressed nations in the world. Yes, India has been declared as one of the most depressed nations in the world. And my dear friends, that self-talk, that positive self-talk, that healthy self-talk is utmost important for your child in this scenario. Yes. So auto suggestion is what we are going to learn. What is next? Vocabs technique. How many of you sitting out here wish to improve your vocabulary and improve your English as well? I'm still working on that. Okay, improvising on my vocabulary, and the research says the stronger your vocabulary, the more powerful will be your communicational English. So I'm going to share that technique with you, how to actually memorize entire dictionary. Are you with me? I'm going to share that with you, how to memorize entire dictionary, vocabs technique, journey method. Okay. Now, most of you loved, whatever I memorized. I actually was using journey method. One of the methods that I use is a journey method. Now I'm going to teach you this method, and I'm going to help you out how to memorize difficult concepts. Okay, long answers, lengthy answers, even chapters, how should it be memorized, and that can be actually done with the help of this method called as journey method. Now, all the toppers, like fantastic world memory champions across the globe. I don't know if you have visited my YouTube channel, but if you happen to subscribe and visit, a lot of videos that I have put, I've been interviewing wonderful friends around the globe who are like the toppers. Okay? Andre Musi from Italy, he's a world memory champion. You can see a wonderful interaction I have with him. And this fellow, this wonderful gentleman, Andre Musi from Italy, is a world memory champion. Even he uses this method. And a lot of many athletes out there, the global memory experts, they all use this method in order to memorize a lot of information, which you are going to learn in this webinar. Okay, musical windows. How many of you loved what I did with the numbers? With the binary numbers, with the the NX1, NX2. Okay, you loved it, right? Thank you. So guys, the technique behind it was actually musical windows, and I'm going to teach that technique with you, share that with you, and you will be actually memorizing humongous amount of lengthy numbers, historical events, dates. Do you have periodic table in your padhai, in your studies? Do you have periodic table? If the answer is yes, I'm going to teach you how to memorize the periodic tables. Or if you're if you're into shipping industry by any chance, like most of you are, how to memorize that stuff, that information which I did, and similar information with the help of this technique. Okay. What else do we learn? We also learn memory diet, what to eat, what not to eat. We'll also do memory and brain exercises that will help your child to have a balanced brain, left and right brain. Okay. What else? And we'll also be learning about concentration, how to remain focused in your studies. Okay. We are going to learn those techniques, how to remain focused in your studies. And of course, one of the most beautiful concepts that you will be learning is goal settings. I shall be helping your child to set bigger goals in life, to have focus on those goals, and how to achieve those goals, how to stay disciplined in your life is what we are going to learn in this webinar. Now, how many of you simply love the subjects that we are going to learn together? Just type in the chat box, I loved it. How many of you really feel, just type in the chat box that I loved it, and I can see a lot of you are typing. Thank you so much for that. So guys, how many of you really feel that should be taught in the schools? A lot of us, you feel that, sir, these subjects should actually be covered in the schools. But I think exactly for the very same reason why it has not been taught. And I think Ashutosh sir has taken that initiative. T.S. Rahman as an institute has taken that initiative. initiative. Storm Academy has taken that initiative so that we all do not stay deprived of this education, and you should all learn these wonderful techniques. In fact, a lot of teachers and professors and school principals and directors, they attend this webinar and this workshop. So if you're a teacher, you are most welcome. If you're a student of any age, does not matter. If you're in standard 4 or standard 2 or standard 3 or 4, you're in standard 10, 11, 12, if you're a graduate, you're most welcome. Okay, the age does not matter. The minimum age bar is actually 7 years and above. Okay, so if you're 7 years and above, you're most welcome. Now people want to understand that when would this be? Okay, when would this be? Now, here were these some wonderful photographs of past 10 years. These are my wonderful friends across the globe. These are all experts of memory. Now, considering the time factor, I'm not introducing them to you, but here's Tony Buzan, one of my coaches, and I've been very happy that I've been certified by him, the Think Buzan Institute in London. Okay, I'm a mind mapping practitioner as well. Okay, and we recently lost, it's almost more than a year, we lost Mr. Tony Buzan, one of the greatest human beings as far as memory is concerned, brain is concerned. He was the best in the world. And Dominic O'Brien, England's champion. And these are some wonderful people. I just shared that with you. But guys, we are going to do the class starting from tomorrow. It's a 4 days webinar, and every day we'll be meeting, and this is the schedule. We'll be starting tomorrow, 8th July, 9th July, 10th July, 11th July, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. every single day. Are you with me? Right? You can take a screenshot, or you can take a photo of this, or you want to note down somewhere, but it's quite simple, right? Okay, you don't need techniques to remember this, right? So 8th July, 9th July, 10th and 11th, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Okay, the time is 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Okay. Now, what is the investment that is involved? So now let us all thank, institute, our institute, T.S. Rahman is an institute, and let us also thank and congratulate Ashutosh sir, and he has really requested me to get down on the fees and make it even more affordable for all of you, okay? And you'll be very surprised with the price that has been, quoted for this live workshop. Remember, this is an application-based workshop, thoroughly application. You are going to come with your books. Okay, your shipping ka books, your history ka books, your geography ka books, whatever books you study, you want to come with those books, and we are going to apply on your own studies. Okay, now the value of this is actually lakhs of rupees, because Ashutosh sir, in the past 10 years, I have spent perhaps more than 25 lakh rupees on my own self, on my own brain, on my own personality, so that I learn something extraordinary, which I can actually give it back to the society. Now, the value is undoubtedly lakhs of rupees. But how much do I charge when it comes to live workshops? Not this kind of workshop, not this. This is of course a live workshop, but I'm talking about the physical workshop, Ashutosh sir. Before the lockdown scenario, I'm discussing about if I have to book a hall, and in the hall, if somebody like you, around 1,000 people, if I have to invite in a hall in Mumbai, you imagine the kind of investment that is involved. Right? Maybe around 1.5 lakh, 2 lakh rupees I have to invest on the hall premise. Right? So there is huge investment involved, which is not involved here in such kind of Zoom sessions. Okay. So what is the charge that I have to bear, or what you have to bear rather, in terms of attending these workshops in the live scenario, in the physical one-to-one scenario? It is actually, the cost goes up as high as 8,000 rupees. But as I said, you don't have to pay 8,000 rupees in this scenario, because it's a Zoom mein hum log karne wale hain. That's how it makes it cheaper for all of us. There is no cost involved in terms of booking the premise and all. So what is the fees that is involved here? You don't have to pay 8,000. The fees is going to come down for you in this scenario, and it is going to be 5,500. But now, considering the fact that are a lot of work and lot of load and lot of help that is being given to us by Storm Academy and T.S. Rahman Institute and Ashutosh sir, okay, and that for very reason, the fees will not be even 5,500. The fees will be going to come down drastically. Okay, how many of you are excited to know the investment that is involved in this? Now type investment in the chat box if you are really interested to know the investment, because I'm going to go down so that it makes very easy, as requested by Ashutosh sir. He said, make it, sir, affordable for all of them, so that they all learn at a very affordable price. Fantastic. Thank you so much, guys. Now let us understand what is it that we have to pay. Okay. Now, here you go. I'm going to share that slide with all of you so that we all learn and understand what is it that we are going to bear the cost here. Okay. So definitely it is not going to be 5,500. And here you go. Can you see my slide, all of you? No. Okay. Here you go. Here is the slide. Now I open the slide for all of you. I'm sharing the slide. So you don't have to pay 5,500. And here you go. This is what you pay. I'll share the slide. Okay. So now, I don't know, I'm not able to zoom this slide somehow right now, but yeah, this is better. Now, the price is actually 3,000 rupees, and this has been decided only for on those people who have attended the session today, TS Rahman students, and not just TS Rahman students, but all the students who have been invited by the institute and Nordstrom Academy. They all have to bear the same cost, which is 3,000 and not 5,500. And those students, the fees will be 3,000 rupees. Those who take the decision right now, because we are going to start tomorrow at 5 p.m. Okay. So I am here sharing with you the Google details, Google Pay details, the Paytm details, the UPI ID details, and the number is also available on WhatsApp that belongs to our operations head Rakesh Humre sir. Okay. And you can contact him. He's on WhatsApp on the same number, and the same number is available on Google Pay as well. Okay. So are you with me, guys, for this? Yes. So if you're there, you can either make a Google Pay payment, or you can do a Paytm, or you can actually do a Phone Pay, or if you want to do a bank transfer, just WhatsApp on that number 9870709802. Rakesh sir will give you the bank details wherein you can do a bank transfer to him. Make sense? And what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to open the payment window for 15 minutes from now onwards to ask maybe questions also, and for you to do that payment. After 15 minutes, we are going to close the session. Okay. And those who book their seats in this 15 minute slot will be invited tomorrow. We'll be discussing from tomorrow onwards from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. The details are in front of you. You can start doing your bookings right now. And Rakesh sir is available on call also on that number. Okay. And that number is also on WhatsApp. And as soon as you do the payment, okay, take a screenshot of that payment and send it to Rakesh sir on the same number over WhatsApp, and he will confirm your admission out there. Fantastic. Now, the time starts now for all of you to do the bookings and to confirm your seat. And one good news, Ashutosh sir, I want to give you. This is a certified course for all of you. Okay. First thing, it is a certified course. Second, along with the 4 days webinar, 4 days workshop, after the workshop, there'll be 7 days follow-up course also with you, which means over WhatsApp. There's no time attached to that follow-up course. Do not worry about that. But whatever assignments we give you, you are supposed to solve those and come back to us, and you can do it in any given point of time in those 7 days. Secondly, I will also be giving you e-notes of the entire 4 days workshop of all the topics that we are going to discuss in that. Okay, I'll be sharing those e-notes with all of you. Now, what else? Now, most important thing, I shall also be sharing, Balan sir, the recordings of the workshop. Now, isn't that fantastic? Now, type in the chat box, fantastic, if you really like that. Yes, you will be getting the recordings of the entire workshop, of all the 4 days workshop. Aapko charo din ke you will be getting recordings over the mail. Okay, so that is how it will be more beneficial. You can refer to those recordings in future also. And the most important factor is, if you have 2 kids, okay, or 3 kids, or if the parent also want to sit together and learn the techniques in the workshop, you don't have to pay separately for every individual 3,000 rupees. No, you don't have to do that. Okay, you pay one single 3,000 for all the family members. Maybe if there are 2 kids and mother and father, they all want to learn together, you're all most welcome. Acha, does everybody get certificate? The answer is big yes. Right? Now, the same is not the case when you come for my live workshops. What happens there? In the physical workshop I'm talking about, what is the case there? You have to pay 8,000 rupees per person. So 5 people attending from one family, they pay 40,000. But here, you'll have to pay only 3,000 rupees. What I do right now is I open the window for your, question answer perhaps, and also the 15-minute slot so that you can book your seat. Once you book your seat, you can even chat box me, you can mention that you have booked the seat. Okay, you can type BOOK to me also in the chat box that you have paid via the Google payment or Paytm, or you have interacted with Rakesh sir on the number, you have called him or messaged him or WhatsApp him. So even that is also fine. Okay. Now I request Ashutosh sir to open his line. If he has to share something, because the beautiful part is Ashutosh sir has been a part of the entire 4 days workshop. And I really want him to share his thoughts about the workshop, because he has been through the entire process of learning along with me. And before I hand over, Ashosh sir, thank you that you're here. I want to thank once again Nostrom Academy and TS Rahman and Ashosh sir to you for this wonderful opportunity. It was really wonderful coming here and sharing all the thoughts today. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amrut. Of course, I've attended your session and I was really inspired by the techniques, and definitely we are going to apply them to our students. And just to share with you, before attending your session, I used to do something called, for the boys when I was taking a subject called Marpol, and the boys used to tell me, "Sir, ये special areas हमको याद नहीं रहते." So I used to tell them, special areas you won't know. These are special areas where we cannot, do any pollution for technical reasons and all that. Okay. So I used to tell them, याद करने के लिए कुछ link करो. This is before your session I attended. And I used to tell them that, have you watched a movie called Munna Bhai MBBS? So they all used to say, yes, sir, we have watched. And I used to tell them, तो वो MBBS याद रहेगा? They used to say, yes, Munna Bhai भी याद रहेगा, MBBS भी याद रहेगा. Then I used to tell them that M is Mediterranean Sea, B is Black Sea, next is Baltic Sea. तो 6-7 special area में at least आपको 3-4 तो याद हो गए, सिर्फ एक बंदे को याद करके. So this was a relation of memory technique, and then we used to make a lot of acronym like that. And बहुत सारे हमने students के साथ मिलके बनाए so that the memory retention is more, and it really helped me. So when I attended your session like this, I was really interested to know all this, and definitely will be teaching our students also and benefiting from it. So thanks a lot, and I once again thank you for reducing the cost for our people also. I know how your courses are running full, but you agreed to it from your busy schedule, and you also have same passion, like people should know more, they should have more knowledge. I appreciate that. And yes, people can take a call from here onwards. Our job was to tell them what's available, and we've done that. Now I invite Hitesh to come in, and Hitesh can then talk about the certificates, how these 2 days programs who have attended can get the certificates. Over to you, Hitesh.
Sure. Thank you so much, everybody. And I hope you enjoyed Amrut's workshop. It was very eye-opening for me, at least, to figure out a lot of memory techniques and how do you start remembering things and all. So it was really amazing. And thank you so much, Amrut, for being over here and coming over here and enlightening all the participants over here. And once again, thank you so much to, Captain Dr. Ashutosh Apandikar, sir, for inviting the entire maritime fraternity over here, right? And it's really a pleasure to see over 1,000 people attending this session, 500 on Zoom, 500 on YouTube, right? So it's so overwhelming to see when we get such a huge response. So now, let me just tell you, I'll just take about 5 minutes to explain to you about how do you download certificates and what do you do about it, right? So first of all, let me put the link in place for all of you for certificates. So first things first, okay? People watching me on YouTube and people watching me on Zoom, all right? So Zoom, we put the link over here in the chat boxes for everybody. And I'm just going to share my screen right now. So this is basically what we see. This is the link, all right, currently for people. And this link over here is called bit.ly/PPT certificate 1. You will need to go to this link. So people on YouTube, check your description box. In your description box, this link is already there. People over here on Zoom, I will put the link over here on the chat box. You can actually click on this link on the chat box. Just copy paste and push it in the browser. So simply go to bit.ly/ppt certificate 1. Once you do that, if you come to the browser, go to this thing called incognito mode, or just open your browser normally as well, and you just open the certificate over here. When you click on this link and you come over here, you'll find two options out here, right? Two options. Option number one you'll find is as Excel sheet, and option number two you'll find as PDF copies, correct? So if you go to the Excel sheet, find out what's your name. So let's take for example, if my name is Nasir Mistri, page number is 16. Look at the page number beside the certificate. You come down to the PPT, right? Go to this respective PDF document, open the PDF document, and if you go to the respective page, so let's take in my case of page number 16, I will have to go to page number 16 now. So I'll go to this thing called page number 16 over here. Right? This is page number 16, Nasir Mistri. And over here, I'll find this option called print. Click on the print button. The moment you click on the print button, you don't really take a printout as such. If you have a printer, take out the print. If you don't have a printer, don't worry about it. You can just save as PDF. So there's an option called save as PDF. You have to put a page number out here, right? You can see over here, you can just click on the print button, and it'll ask us what page number you want to print. Put the page number. Put the page number as 16 if your name is in 16. Right? So I'll just say, for example, pages, custom, and the page number is 16. Okay, I'll just press enter. When I press enter, the certificate will come over here, and you see option called save as PDF. Click on save as PDF only, so that you can just click on save, and you can save this certificate as PDF, and then you can keep it with you as soft copy or whatever you want. It's very easy, people. And if your name, for on some reason, is not there in certificate, maybe you must have misspelled your name, maybe your name might be wrong, or maybe you did not give the exam. So just to give you a perspective, the test link was open till today morning. So I told 8 o'clock yesterday, it will open till today morning. If you haven't given the test, I'm very sorry. There's no other option to give the test. So anybody whose name is not there in the Excel sheet, they will not be getting certificates at all, right? And I'm really sorry for that, because you had to give the test. There are certain rules that you have to follow over here, right? So please go to the link, download both the sheets, figure out your name, and then you can simply download your certificates. So that's it from my side. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this today's training. I'll repeat one more time. Okay, what you have to do, what you need to do is, people who don't understand this, you simply need to go to the Excel sheet. There's a page number mentioned for every single person. So for anybody whose page number is not mentioned, that's not possible. Okay. Now the page, so basically every single person is always the page number for them. Okay. Now there's a blank thing in the middle, so don't worry about it. Okay, I'll just get this sorted at the back end, so don't really worry about that. But then you can simply just look at the page number on the left hand side over here as well. Just add one, or just search your name. Just do Control F, and you can search your name as well. We'll get this fixed in about 5 minutes from now. Okay, if the page number is not there, but you can simply just Control F, just use Control F and search your name. So let's take, if my name is Raman, I just type Raman, and my Raman will come over there, right? I can also, same thing, I can go to my document as well. I can do a control if I type over here Raman. If I do that, I'll still find certificate over here with the name of Raman as well. So you can choose multiple things. You can see Raman over here, and you can take a print of this particular page. The page over here currently, okay, is 335. So we can simply take the page of 335, print out as well. We'll fix that page number thing in a short while. Don't worry about it. So this is how you do it. I hope it's quite easy and it's quite helpful. So Amrut, over to you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. That was a lovely certificate, by the way. I really liked it. Thank you for sharing that. I'm not able to. Okay, now I am able to control. Okay, somebody is asking, how do we get the link of webinar starting from tomorrow? So I'll just share the screen once again with all of you. For the payment purpose, here the screen is, okay? And you can start making the payments, okay? And we'll be reserving, I believe Rakesh sir has confirmed the seats. He has been receiving the payments on that number. You can scan the QR code or do the Google Pay, or you have the UPI ID, Paytm. You can even call on that number, okay? 9870, okay? And that is on WhatsApp as well. So once you do the payment, quickly take a screenshot and send it there. What I'm going to do right now is, I shall also open the lines for question answers. So raise your hand. I shall also request you to open the videos if you can. If you can open the videos, I'll be interacting with you in a convenient manner that way. That will be helpful for all of us. So if you have any questions, I request you to raise your hand and I shall unmute your line. If you have any doubts or any questions regarding the webinar. So there is one question that is with me here and I will answer that question. That question is from Nayan Jyoti ji. Sir, how do we get the link of the webinar starting from tomorrow? Okay. So Nayan Jyoti ji, first of all, you have to complete the payment. Okay. As soon as you complete the payment, you take a screenshot of that payment and send it on the same number. Okay. And Rakesh sir will confirm and share the link with you for tomorrow's session from 5 to 8. I hope I have answered that, Nayan Jyoti ma'am. Great. If you have any other query, you can type your query. Sorry, I lost you in between due to some issue. Right. So if you have any queries, you can even chat with me, or I request you to raise your hand, and I shall help you out. Can it help an old person above 65? Yes, Kanan sir, absolutely yes, absolutely yes. One of my eldest student has been a 78 years old man who bagged a gold medal for India in Singapore at the World Cup. So I think that answers your question, right? Great. There are a lot of chats with regard to certificates as well. Okay. So guys, if you have any questions, you can raise your hand and I shall guide you. Okay, so if you can open your videos and we can interact, it will be very nice. Or else you can simply raise your hand. Soham Kohli, you want to ask something? Yes. Yes, beta bolo. Tell me. Srinivas sir, you want to ask something? I see your video on. So guys, please open your video now so that we can have a fantastic one-to-one discussion and we can conclude. Srinivas sir, can you unmute your line from your end? And Talari Adarsh, I'm coming to you after this.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, do I have to take a screenshot if I pay by UPI? I'm not very good at screenshots.
You can directly place your phone in front of that QR code, or you can just put the number 9870709802 your Google Pay, and it will give you the details.
Okay, because I'm not very sure about my screenshots. You see?
Okay, no, forget about this screenshot. No problem. Just message it over the WhatsApp. That
okay. I'm paying through UPI ID. I'm
welcome, sir.
Oh yeah, thank you so much.
This is for you. This is for your own self.
Yeah, for my own self. Yes.
Oh, fantastic! I'll be happy to host you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Excited. I'm so happy.
Really.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Really great.
Thank you for your blessings, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just give me 1 minute, Amrut. Okay, there are questions for people whose name is not there. See, only people who came yesterday and who gave the test, only their name will be there. If you're coming here today for the first time, I'm extremely sorry. We cannot offer certificates who just attended just 1 day, right? These are people who have given the test yesterday. Only their name is there. If you have given the test, your name will be 110% there. Just make an effort to search your name, because what happens after time is, half the time you message us, you say your name is not there, then we search and give it to you. It's a tedious task for our team. So my request is, just use the control F option, search your name will be there. If you still don't find your name, send us an email at info@nsacademy.co. We will look into it. All right. So there was a test yesterday, which was taken at the end of the webinar. If you haven't given the test, then I'm sorry, you will not get the free certificates for the session.
So thank you so much, Hitesh ji, for that value add. So guys, open your lines, and Shravani Bhosle, beta, yes, beta, you want to ask something? Guys, please open your videos if you want to ask questions, or it's better we communicate the way Srinivas sir did that. So Vinay Patil, you want to ask any questions? Shravani Bhosle, I'm unmuting your line. Karan, Prakash sir, yes. Sajeev Balan, you want to ask a question? So Prakash sir, unmuted your line. You want to ask anything, sir? Can you unmute your line, Prakash sir, from your end?
It was a fantastic course actually, and the way you presented was awesome.
Thank you so much.
And I would like to participate. I will be sending my payment, but not through Google Pay because I don't have Google Pay.
No problem. No problem.
Okay. So I'll see you again tomorrow.
Yes, sir. So what you do is, if you want to do it through other mode, just note down the number in the front of you, okay? And just ask Rakesh sir to share the alternative. So he will give you the account details, bank details. You can do the bank transfer.
Okay, sir. Okay.
And you're doing it for your own self, Prakash sir?
Yes, yes. I am a teacher.
Oh my God, I am so blessed once again. All wonderful.
I am a senior citizen, but yet I want to learn.
Fantastic, sir. God bless you. And I'm so excited, Srinivas sir, Prakash sir, you guys are real rock stars. Right? Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Wonderful, Students to seek ही रहे, but even, teachers are learning. That is so awesome. चलो, इस मानसी बेटा आपको कुछ पूछना है? Kohli, you have any doubt?
Sir.
Yes, beta, bolo.
Sir, I have got my name in that PDF, but how to take that?
I think Hitesh, that is for you.
Yeah. So see, you have to use the control P option. Don't use cell phones for that, beta. You have to use a computer for that. Cell phone से you cannot take a printout of that. Printout लेना है, आप इसको PDF में save कर लो. So आप control P दबाओ, कंप्यूटर पे जाके control P दबाने के बाद वहाँ पे ऑप्शन आएगा save as PDF करके, आपको save as PDF करना है. Now people who are telling me, that उनका नाम नहीं है, people are telling me whose name is not there, your name is spelled wrongly. That is because you must have put the name wrongly. If your name is wrong, I'm really sorry. Whatever name you put while you give the test, that will only be there. Imagine there are 1,000 plus certificates people. It's impossible for us to pick certificates for each one of you individually. So I request you to please bear with us. If your name is not there, search. Make an effort to search. I see still a lot of people who are not searching their name properly. Like, so please.
Sir, I got the name.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about everybody else. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about everybody else. A lot of messages coming to me. Okay, you have to search your name. If your name is not there, that means I'm sorry. Certificates won't be issued to you because these are the names taken exactly from the Google sheet which was given yesterday, right? The link is already there. I've already given the link to you. I'm issuing the link one more time to all of you in the chat box and in the description link as well. So please use your PC. Do not use your phone. With the phones, you will not be able to take a save PDF. Right? Okay.
Yes. Any other questions you have, guys? I've kept the link open. So I think already people have started paying to Rakesh sir, and they are confirming the numbers and the people like Srinivas sir, Prakash sir. So request you to raise your hand if there are any questions. For next 10 minutes, I'll be here, and the screen is up out available. You can note down the number and you can start doing the admissions and confirmation. Captain Saab, Rajkumar Singh sir, you want to ask anything, sir?
No, Amrut, we are done, I suppose.
No, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. One last note for everybody. People who have been asking me again and again how to download certificates. I already explained to you how to download it. You would not find certificate download option, okay, on the Excel sheet. You will find certificate download option in the PDF. Okay. You'll see the PDF. Please only the Excel sheet is only for looking out the page number. You won't get certificates over here. And now everybody's number has come over here. As you can see, we got about 1,000 plus certificates over here, which have been made. Okay. You can find a respective number. So let's take, for example, Hare Ram Hare. You need to go back to the same Google Drive, open this PDF, and on that PDF, you'll find your certificate. You can also do a Control F. type the name Hare Ram, okay? And whenever you type the name, it will come to exactly that same certificate. And this is the page number 497. If you click on the print option in your PC, only use your computer, do not use your phone. If you use your phone, you will not be able to do it, right? Just click on the print option, type the page number, whatever page number you have. So for example, the page number is Guru Custom, it's 497, press enter. You will find the same certificate by, say Hare Ram Hare, or whatever name it is there. Then you can simply change the certificate as PDF copy and save it with you. So you only have to use a computer. It won't work on a cell phone. Unfortunately, it can work on a cell phone as well, but then you need to have a PDF cutter and all. So please use a PC. If you don't have one, go to your neighbor and ask him, or ask your friend if he can give a certificate to you from this link. Pass this link to him or her, right? So I guess that's it from my side. And if your name is not there, your name is misspelled, I'm really sorry. We cannot do anything about it.
Yes, thank you, Hitesh. Guys, any doubts you have? I'm here once again for anything that you have to ask me. Srinivas sir, I believe you have taken the screenshot, or you have shared that. You want to share something? Yes, you can open your windows, or you can raise hand if you have any queries with regards to tomorrow's webinar, tomorrow's workshop that we start. Wonderful. There are a lot of memory trainers who have joined here. See those trainers as well here, students as well, as I scroll down my screen. Yes, Arbaz Kaziji, your hand is raised. You have any doubt? You need to ask something? Yes. You can raise your hand and I shall help you to answer those questions. So what we'll do is, Rakesh sir, I also request you, Taranam and Rakesh sir, if you're there, you can even share the link in the chat box for all of them to register for tomorrow's workshop. Tara madam, you are there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you can do one thing. You can quickly share the link for tomorrow's workshop if they want to register for this. And already who have registered, you can reply back them on the WhatsApp as well. And for the new entries, you can put the link so that they can respond out there. Yes, I have unmuted your line on. Yes, dear. You want to share something? Yes.
Sir,
hi, tell me.
Am I audible?
You are very much. Please tell me.
Sir, you were explaining about prime time, which was about 20 minutes plus 10 minutes.
Correct.
So what if we study for 30 minutes instead of 40? So there will be no downtime.
You really feel so? So now after 20 minutes, anyways, the brain is going to deteriorate, it is going to degrade. After 20 minutes of time, it is going to. And how many such slots you are going to make then in case of you do it for 30 minutes? Are you getting?
Yes,
so the time is actually 40 minutes. Okay. And if you do 30 minutes, that is fantastic. Nothing stops you from doing 30 minutes. Or rather, you better do 20 minutes in that case, right? So you have all the prime time. So it does not work that way. So please understand that after 20 minutes again, in the 30-minute slot also, the brain is going to go down, right? It is going to be, be away from the studies, and it is going to be focused completely
right now.
So that is, yes.
Sorry to interrupt, but we have a second session right now, and we're just waiting for this meeting to get over.
Perfect.
So probably if you have any questions, probably what you can do, Amrita, is leave a phone number with people, let them get in touch with you.
It is there. It is already there on the screen, so we have shared that. And Tara madam, I hope you have shared it in the link in the chat box as a link as well.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I have already shared that link.
So guys, you can click on the link, everybody out here, because we are going to log out now. The link is in the chat box. You can register there for tomorrow's workshop and we'll get in touch with you. Okay. I think you register, we'll discuss. Okay, you'll get some details out there.
Okay, sir. Thanks.
Thank you and God bless. I think everybody on the next 1 minute, you can definitely log in there and share. And Hitesh, thanks a lot for this wonderful arrangement. So thank you. Thank you.
People, all the very best to you, and I'll see you guys next time. Till then, have a great night. See you. Bye-bye.